Welcome parents and students alike. This lesson is lesson 7.7, unit 7, lesson 7, on fractions or fractions on a number line. The instructions for the homework: complete each number line, show all fractions, including each fraction for 1. So the first one's already completed. Then here, this one is just in halves. This one is thirds. So we're missing one over here. We're trying to find the equal distance between each fraction. I tell students, just get some kind of scrap paper, and to make sure that you have equal distance, you can just put a scrap paper from 0 to 1/3. Then you go from 1/3 to 2/3. And then the last little bit works out just right. This one is on fourths. The reason, and now how many dots or how many hash marks am I going to make? I'm going to make 4, including this last one. Oh, I didn't do the last one, did I? 1/3, 2/3, this is 3/3, because it says including each fraction for 1, or 1 whole. So if this is 1/2, then this is 2 halves. 2 halves is same as 1 whole. 3/3 is same as 1 whole. So I'm going to make 3 more, and then the fourth one is going to be my whole. Again, if I have a piece of paper, I could just make 2 little marks, and that will help me to make sure that all my fractions are equal distance apart. So 1/2, this is 1/4, this is 2/4. Now make sure it lines up, because this is halfway. 2/4 is halfway to 4/4. This is 3/4, and this is 4/4. All right, so let's look at the sixths. There should be 5 here in the field, and then 6/6 will be the last one. So there's 2 ways to do it. If I know that 6 can be divided into 2 parts because it's an even number, so I can automatically put one right in the middle, and that's going to be halfway. So from 0 to the first one, and then from the first one to the second one to the third one. See, it works out. This is 2/6, this is 3/6, and then 4/6 would be equal distance. 4/6, 5/6, and the last one is 6/6. 6/6 is 1 whole. All right, the last one then is the eighths. So we're going to make 8 marks all together, because the denominator tells us that there's 8 parts to the whole. And this tells us who's in line first. See, the numerator tells us I'm in line first, I'm in line second, I'm the third one in line, fourth one, I'm the fifth one in line, and the sixth one matches the bottom. 6th person in line matches the bottom. That tells us there's 6 people in line, and this is the 6th person in line. Just another way of saying what the numerator and the denominator stand for. All right, so we're going to try again. There's a halfway point, so one of them is going to be halfway because the denominator is even, so there's always a halfway point. All right, it worked out just right. Here we go. Looks like one more. All right, let's see. Let's put in so all of these denominators are 8 because they are in 8 sections. And we make sure we do the last one. This is the first fraction. This is a unit fraction. After the unit fraction is numerator 2. It's 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. Notice it's 1/2. 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. Okay, we're all done. We can start doing our work. Use your number lines. Write an equivalence chain. Which fraction, with fractions that equal, write a chain with fractions that equal 1/2. So a chain that equals 1/2 would be all the ones underneath 1/2. So here's a chain. 1/2, 2/4, 3/6, 4/8. All right? Notice that the pattern, whenever it's 1/2, the numerator is always half of the denominator. The 2 is half of the 4. 3 is half of 6. The 4 numerator is half of the 8. So we can keep going like this. If the next one was a numerator 5, the denominator would be 10. If the denominator was divided into 12 section, what would be the numerator? 6. All right, so it's always, the numerator is half of the denominator. We can go all the way up to 44. And what's half of 44? 22. We could go up to 80. What's half of 80? 40. Okay, let's make a chain with equivalence chain with fractions that equal 3/4. So we find 3/4, and there's really no other fraction except 6/8. So it's 3/4, 6/8. By the way, if you want to continue this, what did I do to get from 4 to 8? I multiplied, the answer is I multiplied by 2. 4 times 2 equals 8. So you have to do the same thing to the numerator. 3 times 2 equals 6. So if you want to continue this chain, just keep multiplying it by 2 over 2. 6 times 2 equals 12. 8 times 2 is 16. So this is the chain. You just keep multiplying it by 2. That's one way. So make a chain with fractions that equal 6/6. So all of these are equivalent fractions. So let's just start with 2 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, 6/6, 8/8. Those all equal 1, by the way. So you see how it's a chain? A chain is when they kind of link up with each other. Okay, so that is your homework.